Everybody has the right to have access to a decent and dignified toilet in one's home. And yet the world remains off track to meet the Millennium Development Sanitation target to halve by 2015 the proportion of people without sustainable access to safe drinking water and basic sanitation.
We have 2.6 billion people on Earth today who don't have access to a toilet.
In all our big cities, we are drowned in filth. I think it's the greatest challenge to almost all African countries, particularly Ghana, where over the years we have not succeeded in managing waste.
Just imagine your life if you didn't have access to a toilet. Every time you would need to go 2 or 3 times in a day, where would you go if you didn't have a toilet? And that is a question that the majority of people in Ghana today do ask themselves on a daily basis.
According to the Joint Monitoring Program of the WHO and UNICEF, the numbers in Ghana are overwhelmingly bad.
About 80% of Ghanaians were considered by the GMP as not having improved toilets in their homes.
Cause and effect. The exploding population, lack of improved sanitary facilities and torrential rains, among others, are exposing Ghanaians to contamination and infection, evidence of which is the frequent outbreaks of cholera, dysentery and other diseases.
It's like every half an hour a child dies in Africa from cholera. These are statistics that don't exist anywhere else. Cholera would not exist in Ghana if everyone had access to a toilet.
Kumasi, Ghana's second largest city, is bursting at the seams. Space is a rare commodity and infrastructure is woefully inadequate.
In a lot of areas in Kumasi, there is no national infrastructure for running water. So that means that things like the flush toilet, the traditional aspirational toilet, are not an option.
Close to 40% of the population of Kumasi currently depends on public toilet. And Kumasi's population is in excess of 2 million.
Most of them are tenants who can only afford the likes of snake-infested pit latrines, aka Hwitim, and it gets worse.
You have another option to go outside, to openly defecate, which is something that's become the norm, I would say, in Ghana, for people to go to the toilets in the gutter, or for people to use what they would say or call a flying toilet, which is essentially going to the toilet in a black bag and disposing of it in the street.
Now imagine having to navigate a dangerous minefield of unsafe, unhygienic, unsavory public toilets plagued with those annoying buzzing flies gleefully feasting on one's privates while trying not to gag and look down at the swarm of worms swimming in, and on top of that having to engage in Olympic acrobatics in order to heed nature's call. Are we getting the picture?
Before you ease yourself, unless you suffer.
Me age ni ntina mintimi enkoto ntina ha me pa na dwe sei se me feel se me kwa me ye no wo me dem nsa na hwache no ma so dia ko public toilet.
It is very difficult even to pass through because of the queue that you meet.
Everybody say be na pass no won say nimpa do so na wo peni mu wagina mu say lie so enye e bia na wo dia how na obepa obi chair say wanya want no say e bia no so
It's time in 2014 that we really address the problem that we have 2.6 billion people on Earth today who don't have access to a toilet.
An impossible task? Yes, it seems. But one company stepped up to deal with this daunting challenge by democratizing toilets, one household at a time. Clean Team Ghana Limited.
Clean Team Ghana Limited was started as a collaborative project between Unilever UK and water and sanitation for the urban poor.
The mission for Clean Team is to be a viable, dignified, affordable option for improved sanitation for urban communities anywhere in Africa.
Working closely with the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, trials are underway in Ashtown in Kumasi.
Kumasi was chosen as the place to start a trial and to establish the model.
And patronage is encouraging.
The long-term objective of us is to be a franchise model that you could take to any urban city across the continent.
Through extensive field research, Clean Team Ghana came up with the mobile urine diversion toilet, the Clean Team Toilet.
We've designed what we like to call the Rolls-Royce of toilets. So it's actually a blue plastic portable unit that doesn't need any installation, you don't need any connections to water, you don't need anything. All you need is just a tiny bit of space.
Now get this, the Clean Team toilet is odorless and free.
It's a blue chemical we've developed with Unilever that acts as a mask between the user and the waste. So essentially it masks the smell, so there's no smell, you don't see the waste that's inside the toilet, and that is basically what we come and replace and collect when we service your toilet.
Customers only pay monthly service fees. These and the frequency of collection times depend on the number of people in a household. Let's look at the math.
If you have a household of around 7 people and they're using a public toilet, some of them you can pay up to 50 pesos per person per trip. So some of these households, you're paying around 3 cedis, 50 pesos per day just to go to the toilet in these households. So you find that in a month they could be spending 100 cedis going to the toilet. We collect in increments just so that it's affordable to people. And we ask customers to pay a monthly service fee purely for the service of waste collection. The fee that you pay depends on the size of your household. So you normally find an average size of household is around 7 people, and they would pay around 25 Ghana cedis per month for the waste collection service. So it's actually a cheaper option, it's more convenient, it's more comfortable, and as a consumer, you also know that your waste is being removed responsibly and treated responsibly.
And Clean Team Ghana takes this responsibility very seriously. Here is the model. The company is made up of a team of about 40 people that includes consultants, administrative staff, service associates, waste collectors and processors. Collectors exchange used cartridges for clean ones. The used ones are sent on to temporary transfer sites in Kumasi. Service associates collect fees and constantly check on customers to make sure they are getting the best value out of their toilets. Cartridges are moved to Clean Team's new processing center at the Kumasi landfill site, where they are cleaned thoroughly and prepared for reuse. The center, which was established with the help of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, has dramatically increased the company's capacity to service its customers.
We have capacity to scale up to 10,000 households on the site that we currently are. We are seeing that there's more demand coming from the community is responding to our increase in capacity.
Following the lead of other countries, Clean Team Ghana and scientists from the Cranfield University in the UK are testing the waste sludge in special subterranean treatment tanks for potential commercial uses, notably biogas, water and fertilizer.
What are the volumes of output we can get with the type of waste that we're collecting? In most countries, you look at Holland, you look at even Namibia, they have been treating their waste and creating commercial options from their waste for generations.
Bottom line, Clean Team Ghana is making a real difference in the lives of people, not only in the community, but within the company as well.
First, let me cry, and yes, all the time about Cherika. And I'm very excited about you. But wait a minute, I never saw we are in my disc. Nadia, me papa and me always still call up a scar. That's very one. Last month, me yellow color, and me did me insurance cat coin. Oh, or more hospital in heaven, we say Druby and Kata. But me used to sketch and me by one was a chairman and say me from quarters I can. Oh, but you can say a ball of a brain.
It's dignity and empowerment, and there is no feeling like it.
Yes, and I like it. I enjoy using it. The thing to help me a lot. My life really changes.
So what the toilet ne so kra na wudidi kra wonte senti bia nti eye pa.
And I think in the communities that we work in now, we get that response from our customers that their household now is somewhere aspirational. We have some customers, one customer in particular was telling me that he even got a girlfriend because he has a toilet in his house. You know, he's one of the only guys now who she can visit and he has access to a toilet. And it sounds really trivial. If you're used to always having a toilet, you never think about what your life would be if you didn't have one.
So far so good, but there's much more. No stone is being left unturned in Clean Team's quest to provide improved sanitation services to the bigger community. The company reinforces its culture of excellence through rigorous training, education, research, and a desire to solve the community's sanitation problems. Clean Team is looking for ways of serving more and more customers, which include automating cartridge cleaning operations and partnering with schools and other institutions, among many.
We have financial training for the people in our finance department. We also have a huge focus on health and safety.
We want our customers to be confident in the people we present to them that enter their homes to service them.
And now we're at a stage where even with KNUST, we have a number of people who work with us as interns because they're seeing that sanitation is a reputable industry to work at, and companies like Clean Team, we have the opportunity to send particularly a lot of young people all over the world to be part and parcel of the sanitation revolution that's happening. It's one of the most innovative and collaborative industries that anyone could work in.
Clean Team intends to spread all over Ghana, spill all the way to the whole world where people do not have access to sanitation.
For Valerie and her team of dedicated workers, it is a case of yes, we can.
Every day we know that even if we provide 2 toilets, we've changed the livelihood or the lifestyle or the quality of life of that household. 5 years down the line, I hope that Clean Team is a household name, it's a franchise. I would love to meet hundreds of people just like me who've picked up sanitation or different types of sanitation models and are providing that service to people across the continent.
If we expand it, if people understand it and accept it, and more of these facilities are supplied, I think eventually people going to the public side or in streets or in gutters to defecate will be a thing of the past.
I expect that we'll continue to explore to sort of bring about new versions of interventions that will help address the totality of the sanitation challenge in Kumasi. So I think the future is quite bright.
Clean Team toilet no dear. Aboa me papa ntimi bompa ya mam company ne say entrepa enko no bia ntimi nyibi. Fi say Clean Team toilet no eboa pa to so bia nya bi.
Yes, I believe it will better life of the society if only we all come together and then think of our health. It will better us.
There's so much more to do. We haven't even touched a fifth of the households in Kumasi that need access to a toilet. I think that we are just trying to catalyse this movement for people to recognise how important sanitation is, and the fact that Ghana cannot develop without prioritising sanitation. As a country, we cannot. Whether we have oil, whether we have gold, if people don't have access to something as simple as a toilet in their households, we cannot be proud of the country until we can say things like that are happening.